Welcome to the new show called Devin's Life and Others. Today we're going to have a special guest, my grandma. Right now, I'm going to have this lovely lady bring her in. Hello, my name is Devin. What's your name?
My name is Herman.
Nice to meet you, Herman.
How are you?
Good.
Nancy
Hello,
Ford.
Nice to meet
Hi,
you, Nancy.
Devin.
I'm gonna be asking you guys some questions about your childhood and today. What would you do? What year were you guys born?
1927.
1927.
1927.
Both the same. Did your parents tell you anything about the day you were born?
No.
My mother said I was a breech. Do you know what that is?
No.
Babies usually come out head first, but if they come out feet first, they're breech.
Where were you born?
It's very, very terrible for the mother
Yeah,
to have it happen that way.
it's worse.
Not good for the child either.
No. That's all I know about
When's
it.
their birthday?
What's your birthday?
Birth date,
Yeah.
10/28/27.
What about you, Grandma?
I'm 2 days younger.
So 10/26, 27?
No, 10/30. 27.
Oh. Okay.
Okay.
Where were you guys born?
I was born in Zanesville, Ohio.
Brockton, Massachusetts.
Were you born in a hospital or at home?
No, in a hospital.
In a hospital.
Both of you.
Why were you given your first name?
I was given my first name because I am named after my great-grandmother, Nancy Wadsworth Chandler, and I was Nancy Chandler Haskins. So,
I was named after my great-grandfather. Henry. Herman Henry. Somebody like that.
Is there anything special about your middle name?
What's the question?
Is there anything special about your middle name?
Well,
That was
yes,
your
there is.
great-grandfather's.
There is. Haven't you ever heard of Henry Ford? Well, there you are.
oh, come on. He's just kidding you, Devin.
Huh? Well,
What about you, Grandma? Is there anything special about your middle name?
Well, I was named after my great-grandmother. That was special.
your middle name, too?
Yeah.
Oh,
Her name was Nancy Wadsworth Chandler, and I was Nancy Chandler Haskins.
okay.
What is your first, most vivid memory?
Boy.
Did you have a dog?
Well, yeah, I had a dog. Prince. I remember Prince. Wasn't Odie.
No.
What about you, Grandma?
I don't know my first memory, but I do remember certain things.
What's your
that
favorite
were-
memory?
Well, it's not my favorite either. But I do remember the hurricane in 1938. I could tell you stories about that, and I remember going to the beach when I was a little kid. Spent lots of hours at the beach.
Can you describe the neighborhood that you grew up in?
The what?
The neighborhood.
The neighborhood.
Oh, sure. It was we had a dirt road. Our street was Stetson Road, and it was a loop road off River Street. So River Street went straight, Stetson Road went like that, and behind Stetson Road, down the hill, through the woods, was the North River. We used to go down there and go swimming in the river, and we spent a lot of time
Grandmother's house.
in the woods. What was that? I didn't hear what somebody said.
Oh, that was me. I was singing the over the river and through the woods.
Yeah,
To
right.
Grandmother's house we go.
But I wasn't going to grandmother's house, I was going down to play.
I know, but you'd have, for me, if I came next to the North River, I'd have to go through the North River and through the woods to get to your old house.
Yes, you would. And up a hill, a couple of hills, actually. We had paths.
And our house was a small house, 2-bedroom house, 2 stories, all right? And it was at the end of the street, and there was big fields all around us, which we used to play in. Used to go build caves in the field and play in them.
We had 9 acres of fields, and there were creeks through them. We lived on the edge of a swamp that had snakes in it, and frogs, and all kinds of animals. We lived in the country.
Tell me about your parents. What memories do you have of them?
Well,
I remember them well.
my mother was a gym teacher at the local high school, and she was older than my dad. I think he told her he was older when he married her. But she was older than he was. Anyway, what was the question?
Those were pretty broad questions.
So just tell me about your parents. Like, what's
Oh.
your favorite memories of them?
Oh, well, favorite memories. I don't know. Hard for me to remember.
What were their names?
That's what?
What were their names?
Names.
Sue.
Sue, yeah, Sue. What's my dad's name?
I don't know.
You don't know?
Yeah.
You don't know your dad's name?
No, it's terrible.
That's why we're asking you, Grandpa.
Oh, it's just too far back, I can't remember.
His dad had,
George.
yeah, he had 11 siblings.
I already had a lot of
What were your parents' names, Grandma?
Edward.
And?
Edward. Your grandfather's name from my dad.
But I mean, like, what was...
And he was named for his grandfather, Edward, also.
But I mean, like, who was your mother? What was your mother's name?
Mary.
Sue and George.
Sue
Edward
and George.
Mary.
Right, correct.
Okay. Who was more strict? Was your mother or your father more strict?
Who are you asking?
Both of you.
Well, my mother was more strict. But I had a lot of fun with my father. He taught me many, many things. We did everything together.
I don't remember either one of them being more strict than the other. They were both very normal.
This is like
Normally strict, that is.
Oh, no, they were.
Everybody was more strict then than they are now.
Well, I suppose. But we were no problem kids, so we didn't have any trouble.
Of course not.
What are some of the rules that you had when you were younger? Do you remember any of your rules?
Yes, my mother said I had to go out right after breakfast and I wasn't to return until dinner.
No lunch?
Well, I could come in for lunch. I wasn't supposed to hang around the house. I was supposed to be outside. I played outside all the time. But I didn't have any kids to play with usually. We had to make an effort to go somewhere where the other kids were. I was too far away. But then when I got my horses, I was able to go everywhere. And I always had a bike. I had a bike by the time I was about 10. I got a bike. And I could ride my bike the 3 miles it took to go to the next kid's house.
It's a long ways.
We had,
Did you have any brothers or sisters?
I had a sister 4 years younger.
Well, then you did have kids to play with.
No, she was too young.
And I had a brother 4 years old.
I'm gonna play with Everly, and she's gonna be 11 years younger.
I
than
know, not the same. It
So-
won't be the same.
So, Grandma, you only had one sister, and Grandpa, you only had one brother?
Correct. And they were both 4 years.
How
Mine
funny.
was 4 years older, hers was 4 years
Mine
younger.
was 4 years younger.
And no, we didn't play together.
Oh.
No.
Not,
Fought.
well, we fought. When my sister was a teenager, we did stuff together. We both rode the horses, and we both hooked up the wagons and all that stuff. But they were just for fun. They weren't, they weren't horses that we had to have for work. During the war, my dad bought a horse, which I was 12 years old, and I was really excited because we were going to go out and look for horses to buy.
Did you have cars back then?
Oh, absolutely. We had cars.
Model A's.
What?
Model A's.
Well, you did.
Yeah, I did.
I owned my own car when I was 16.
So did I.
What
But
kind?
not many people had them. And I only had mine because I had to drive my sister.
I had a
and
Model
me to
A
school.
convertible
Nice.
with a rumble seat.
When you were 16?
Mine was a 36 Ford Coupe.
So that was still in the middle of World War II, though. When you guys were 16.
Yeah,
Uh-huh.
you're right.
What?
I bought the car with a friend who was
Okay.
older,
Okay.
and he had to go into the service. He was a couple years older than I
How
was.
much?
So he went into the service, so I ended up with the car.
Well, it's kind of nice.
How much did the cars cost?
Well, we paid $60 for the Model A convertible.
It's
And,
fantastic.
I want a car for
Yeah.
$60.
And I sold it for $100.
Awesome. What about you, Grandma? Did you have to buy your own car, or did your parents buy it for
I didn't
you?
buy it. No.
How much was it though?
I don't know, a couple $100. It was used. It wasn't a new car.
Wow, you can buy
During
an
the
expensive
war,
car.
during the war, we didn't have very much use of cars because
Didn't have any
gasoline was rationed, and unless you were a very valuable, important person to the war effort, you didn't get any gas.
Well, I had two friends. One's father managed the pure oil station in town, and one had great farmer friends. And so when I couldn't pick them up to take them to school, they always find gasoline for me.
How far was the school?
2 miles.
Why don't you walk?
Oh, you gotta be kidding.
My school was about 5 miles away, and if I missed the bus, I rode my bike up and down the hills. I wouldn't get there till 2 hours later.
Well, ours-
It was a long ride.
Our school was downhill from where we were too.
Ours wasn't downhill.
But
It was
you have
up
to-
and downhill.
Oh, up and downhill.
Lots of hills. But during the war, I was in high school, let's see, graduated in 46, which was right after the war.
This all came from memories of your parents, guys.
What?
Yep,
Yeah.
what's this
This
again?
all came from memories of your parents.
The question.
The question was, what memories do you have of your parents? And then it went to cars.
This is
How'd
that's the
that happen?
best kind of interview.
I know.
Well,
How'd we get the
You
car?
I don't
you're the
know.
moderator, you have to keep us in
Yeah.
line. You want to know about my parents? My mother was a very good sewer and knitter, and she made smock dresses for us. And I had a very nice wardrobe, better than anybody else.
My father was a ceramic engineer, and he came to Zanesville, Ohio to work for the Mosaic Tile Company, which is the premier manufacturer of ceramic tile in the country.
So, I'm just gonna ask you one question, okay?
Well, you've asked it a lot already.
Okay, I have. But you can remember that your dad was a ceramic
Engineer.
A ceramic engineer. But you couldn't remember George?
No?
Because you called him Dad. Is that what you called him? Did you call him Mom and Dad or something different?
Dad? I didn't call him George.
No.
Anyway,
I call Chris Chris.
All right.
Okay. Do you remember of something you did that was really bad? Something you got punished for?
well, lots of things. Did lots of things that were not allowed. I remember something that I thought was really terribly funny when I rolled up a dead snake on the doorstep. My mother was scared stiff of snakes, and we.
You're terrible.
She didn't like it much.
No. How much trouble did you get in?
Huh?
How much trouble did you get in?
Oh, I don't know. Probably a lot. I don't know.
Grandpa, do you remember anything that you did that was really bad?
Oh no, I was a good kid.
Sure, yeah.
Sure I was. No, I just don't have any recollections of anything, but I'm sure there were a few things.
Grandma, you can tell me something bad that you did that could be.
I already
Grandpa.
told you.
But you don't you have anything other?
I what?
Don't you have anything else?
Oh, I'm sure there's lots of things.
Do you remember anything else?
We had a lot of adventures with our horses and our farming during the war, and I don't remember bad things I did. Probably lots. I used to go after tadpoles in the early spring when it was cold out, and
These are bad things?
I don't know. I fell in and my clothes got wet. And my mother didn't appreciate that.
Oh, I see. Okay.
She figured we'd drown, and we didn't.
Thank goodness.
Or figured we'd get pneumonia or something like that.
If you drowned, I wouldn't be alive.
Yeah,
That's
that's
true. Thank goodness she didn't.
Good thing I didn't drown.
Mhm.
What kinds of things did your family buy? Besides like food and stuff. Like what did you do for entertainment? Like what did you buy for entertainment?
We didn't buy much. You're talking about the Depression when we were young. And we were lucky to have food. We had plenty of food, but there were people who didn't.
My dad bought a new car every 2 years. Traded in every 2 years, traded in a car.
During the Depression,
Well, no, because I guess I started remembering maybe when I was about 10 or 12, because I started driving at 12.
yeah, but you weren't buying any cars at all during the war. There weren't any.
Probably true.
So that started in 41, so there weren't any cars to buy. My mother had a car that she used to take us to the beach in during the 30s. And we'd pick up my father at the train in the evening. He went to Boston in the train, so he didn't have to have a car. So we had the car to go to the beach. But we had one car.
Okay.
And we did not buy televisions. We had one telephone on the wall. Let's see, I don't know, I think I got a radio when I was about 12. So I could listen to things like I Love a Mystery, and Jack Armstrong, the All-American Boy.
There you go. Absolutely.
But the family had another radio. We didn't have 90% of the stuff you have. We didn't have any of those things. They didn't exist.
What was the best gift you remember receiving?
The what?
The best gift.
My bike when I was 10. And a jackknife. My grandfather gave me a jackknife.
Alright.
And a camera. I got a camera when I was 10 too. It was a Brownie box camera.
Gosh, I can't remember. I must not have received any gifts.
What about the car that you got from the guy? that
He
we got
paid
to
for
work?
it. Him and
paid
his
for it.
friend paid for it together. So they shared
Yeah.
it.
Oh, well,
Kind of.
I paid him off when I bought it. I bought it from him when he was in the service. So.
Cool.
Oh, Devin wrote his notes and then he typed them all out.
Oh, no. No, no. No.
Well, they're not handwritten. Do they teach you to write in school? I
Yeah,
understand people don't learn anymore how to write.
we do.
Good.
Devin, they used to learn handwriting, and you didn't learn handwriting. They just teach you to write the words, but they don't teach you handwriting.
Yeah, they don't teach me
They
handwriting.
teach you to print, don't they? Not write.
Like no
There's a
cursive.
difference.
No cursive, no calligraphy, none of that.
No.
That's too bad.
What do you think your 3 best qualities are?
Oh, 3 best.
Well, maybe you had 4 or 5 even.
Well, I can't think of 3.
One of them is that you're funny.
No. No. I don't think I'm funny.
I
You're
don't.
hilarious.
Well, it's the interviewers that are hilarious. Oh.
Do you have any qualities at all?
Any quality? Any quality? I must have a few.
What do you think your best quality is? So you don't have to think of 3.
My best quality. Yeah. Let's think about that. Go to them.
What?
Grandma, what is your best quality?
My best quality? You're only giving me 1?
No, you had 3. You had 3 to start with.
Yeah, but I didn't do any at all. No, it's only 1.
What are your 3 best qualities?
Well, let's see. Let's see. I must have a long list of qualities. I think that curiosity is a very good quality. I hope I have that. And persistence, that's a good quality. And courage is another important quality.
That was 3.
I guess that's 3.
Well, she can do more than that. Do you have more than that, Grandma?
Honesty,
Honesty, integrity, compassion.
integrity, right. all those.
Compassion. That's a good one.
What are your 3 worst qualities?
Impatience. No, well, I know, he's got it too.
What?
You're impatient.
Oh, I'm not impatient at all.
Just get a computer out in front of you and find out.
Yes, I'm impatient. I guess you're right. That's bad quality. Impatience.
What other bad qualities do you have?
What other bad quality?
You certainly don't have more,
You can't
do
even
you?
think of the good ones.
Hey, I can't. How am I going to figure the bad ones? Can't think
That's one.
Eh.
You can't think of any.
of it.
Memory.
Memory. Bad memory.
I guess.
It comes in handy sometimes.
Oh.
Yeah.
Have you figured out your best quality?
Even tempered.
That's true.
Mm-hmm.
That's a very good quality.
If you won $1 million tomorrow, what would you spend it on? You don't know?
What would you spend it on? I hope a new kitchen floor.
That's far too low on the.
Oh, yeah,
If you
oh.
had $1 million, I mean, I'd buy a new house. No,
Well, maybe we'd start with a car.
now a car would be a good thing to have. What kind of a car would you have?
A new one.
A new one.
Yeah.
Wouldn't matter as long as it's new.
You would buy a new car.
Would it be a Volvo?
No, it would not
No,
be a Volvo.
definitely not.
What kind of car would it be?
Probably a Toyota
RAV4.
RAV4 or Sienna, something like that.
That's probably true.
Highlander, one of those.
Although it's pretty hard to beat an Astrovan.
Hard to be what?
An Astrovan, but they don't make them anymore, so
Hard to get a what?
beat an Astrovan.
Oh, an Astro van. We've had one of those.
If you had 3 wishes, what would they be?
I could see Devin's thought these up very hard. So
You what?
I would congratulate Devin on his questions. He's thought
Oh,
up.
I found these all online.
Oh.
Oh, there you go. What's the question?
You're not gonna wish for anything?
Yeah, what's
Three
the
best
question?
wishes?
Oh, yeah, when the genie in the bottle jumps out, what are you gonna get?
A new house, a new car.
That was $1 million.
No, a new car. My wish was-
Infinite wishes.
Can't think of anything else.
Would you wish for infinite wishes?
Anything of what?
Infinite wishes, so you can have as many wishes as you want.
No.
Would you
Wouldn't know what to do
You
with
get in
them.
trouble with that.
Wouldn't know what to do with them.
Would you wish for the genie's freedom, like in Aladdin?
No.
Wish for good health.
Well, at my age,
Well, you can still have good health at your age.
well, I guess you could. It's not long lasting though.
Huh?
It's not long lasting.
What's not?
You could wish for long-lasting good health.
You could wish for immortality, or like
Oh, who would want it?
stay young forever.
Who would want it?
Well, it's too late
Terrible.
to stay young forever.
You can turn back
We're
in
already
time
past
and
that
turn you young
point.
again.
Nah.
Nah,
And make you like 22 again.
oh, heaven forbid, I don't think so.
What's the highest award you've ever received?
Highest award.
Haven't had any awards at all.
Any skiing
You have to think
awards?
of what awards you've had.
No.
Any
Awards-
military awards?
in the Air Force, yeah.
What, Michelle?
I was thinking Air Force.
I didn't get any awards. Well, I got my wings. There you go. My Bombardier Navigator wing. That's what I did.
Awesome.
That's the one.
And Nancy, your pictures have won awards.
Me?
Yeah, didn't your painting win an award? You
Painting?
Had a painting.
Oh, yeah, well, I don't think so. I got some swimming awards.
Yes.
I guess it comes.
I got some swimming awards
They're
too.
awards. I don't know. I never gotten any awards.
What's the one thing that you've always wanted but you've never had?
There's a lot of stuff on that list.
It's been elusive all your life.
I don't know. I can't remember any one thing I always wanted to. I don't know.
He's pretty satisfied.
Yeah.
Aren't you
I
pretty
do.
satisfied?
Yes.
That's a good trait.
I'm satisfied with
I
my
think that's
life.
a good trait.
I'm satisfied.
Good.
Quit whispering.
When you look in the mirror, what do you see?
Old wrinkles.
When you look in the mirror, what do you see?
I see myself looking back at me.
It's a good answer. There are some ages we don't look forward to. What birthday were you least enthusiastic about?
Well, let's see. What birthday were you the least enthusiastic about?
I don't know, I enjoyed everyone.
Everyone's another one when you're still breathing on this side of the sod.
If you could go back to any age, what age would it be?
Mm. 16.
Why?
I'd like to go back to cruising time.
Well, that
We were
was a good,
cruising. I
that
would
was a
very
good,
much like to go back to that.
that was a good
How
time.
old were you in that when you were doing that?
When we were cruising, oh, between 65 and 82.
Yep. That
So
was,
you'd like to go back to when you were 65?
Well, probably. Well, it was fun when we were raising our family too. I can't pick a particular year.
we had good times.
Bippity boppity boo, you're 65 now.
Yeah, well, we'd be buying our boat, taking it to Mexico.
Yeah. That we really enjoyed our 14 years of cruising in the sailboat.
Yeah,
That
we
was,
did.
that was best times of our lives. Without a doubt.
How do you
Well,
feel now about growing old? What's the hardest thing about growing older?
Not being
The best
able to
thing.
see it here, that's the biggest item.
What's the best thing?
I don't think there's any best thing except that you're still alive.
Hmm.
Or we are. And we have each other.
Oh, yeah. There you go. That's the best. That's the best thing of all.
Yeah.
How do you think a person should prepare for old age? Is there anything you wish you had done differently?
Save money, save more money.
Yeah,
Start young,
that's true.
Yeah.
not spend very much money, save it for later.
If you live another 20 to 30 years,
We
what
won't.
will you do?
There's no doubt about that. We will not be around in 20 or 30 years.
Do you want to live another
No.
20
No.
to 30 years?
No.
What have you liked best about your life so far?
Cruising on our sailboat.
Okay.
What have you liked?
You're cruising on our sailboat.
Oh,
What's the most difficult thing that ever happened to you?
Difficult thing. I had a pretty easy life. I don't remember any difficult things.
Okay.
What about Grandma?
Grandma?
same here. That's a good answer.
If you had the power to solve one and only one problem in the entire world, what would it be?
People fighting a wars or wars.
That's a good one.
Okay. If you could write a message to each of your children and grandchildren and put it in a time capsule for them to read 20 years from now, what would you write?
I have no idea. I have to think about that a lot.
Boy.
Hi?
Hello.
So
Our
maybe a
children
different.
have all been very good,
That is.
and they don't need any advice. And if they did, they wouldn't ask.
What did you want to be when you grew up?
I'm sorry, I didn't hear you, Devin.
What did you want to be when you grew up?
I don't think I ever had a particular. I wish that I had gone to art school.
Grandpa, what did you want to be?
Be an engineer.
What are you now?
Nothing.
What are some of the jobs you've had?
Well, I guess I've been in the ceramic tile business. Was the only jobs I had.
Grandma, what are some jobs you've had?
What are the jobs I had?
Yes.
Well, I had an office job where I ran a teletype machine, and you probably don't even know what that is.
I don't. You can tell me what it is.
Well, it's a machine that they had before, long before computers. And there's a ribbon of paper that goes through this thing, and the teletype pokes holes in the paper. And when it gets to wherever it's going, there's a machine at the other end that reads the holes in the paper. And I was working for a company called Alcoa, and we sent the orders in on this teletype machine. That was just something to do, because I started out teaching and I got too tired. 1 year, that was enough.
What was the biggest event that happened when you were growing up?
The war,
Yeah,
World War II,
absolutely.
without a doubt.
Yep.
Okay.
How did that affect you guys? The
Oh.
war.
Everything.
Well, I was drafted after the war was over. However, I was in for 6 months because when I was drafted, I wouldn't sign up. They gave me my choice, and I took the Navy, and I was a Naval Reserve, not regular Navy, and they didn't want anybody in the Navy that wasn't regular Navy, so they discharged me. So for the 6 months of service that I had, I ended up with 3 years of college paid for, which was pretty fantastic.
You only had three to go,
I
right?
only had 3 to go. No, actually, I had 3 to go because I got 1 year in before I was in.
Yeah, well, I graduated in '46, which is right after the war ended. In the last year, we had a huge influx of servicemen who came back. They were like 3 years older than the rest of us, and they were much more serious students than my age group.
So they came back to high school? So was it
Huh?
people, was it,
She's talking about college.
oh,
No,
okay.
I'm not.
No? You're talking about high school?
I graduated from high school in '46.
Yeah.
Well, it was after the war. And the guys came home the year before. Lots of them came home right after '45. That last year I was in high school. And the last 2 years actually. So the standards went up, and by the time I was ready to go to college in '46, it was very difficult to get in. The
Okay.
competition was fierce, but I did get into Clark. So,
What was your favorite toy?
at what age?
Any age.
Favorite toy?
Well, I remember I had a little animal we call Foxy, and he had it was a little stuffed toy on about that high, and it had 4 wheels, but the wheels axles were offset so that when you pull Foxy along, he bounced. If you've got a round wheel, if you put the axle in the middle, it just goes around. You put the axle off center, and the wheel goes like that. That's what Foxy had. I liked him.
Favorite toy?
I don't know where he
Can't
is.
think of any favorite toys.
And his tail flapped, because his wheels weren't round. They went bounced.
What was your favorite thing to do for fun?
Favorite?
Yeah, what did you like to do for fun?
Like swim.
When you-
Now? Is that
Anytime.
now?
Any time in your life.
Oh, lots of things. We like to ski, we like to hike, we like to swim, we like to sail,
Yeah, that's true.
snorkel.
Long list.
Outdoor stuff.
Were you ever mentioned in a newspaper?
Oh yeah, lots of times.
Good or bad?
Oh, well, good stuff. Huh?
I don't remember ever being mentioned in the newspaper.
Probably
Leave
sports
all.
teams.
In a magazine,
Sports teams mentioned in the paper.
a magazine,
What magazine?
when you guys were sailing.
Oh, yeah, I guess you're right.
What did you say, Michelle?
A magazine.
When we were
with-
sailing. When we,
Oh, not so much then. Mostly when the children were growing up. We had lots of articles in the paper about the
Oh,
4-H
yes.
clubs and Girl Scouts and kids and teams that they were in, their accomplishments of the children.
then your favorite newspaper columnist.
Who? You mean Ann Gresham?
Yeah.
Yeah, she used to be around a lot. She wrote articles about our family fairly often.
Are there any famous relatives in your family?
Henry.
No.
Oh, no. No.
Your Olympian cousin, uncle,
Who?
the one that was in the
The one that
Olympics.
was in the Olympics with Louis Zamperini.
Yeah, you.
Oh, Bill Haskins, who rode in the Olympics. I don't know how famous that was, but. And
Well, he was in the
my
Olympics.
ancestors were sea captains, probably whalers. Be a bit surprised. They were shipbuilders.
Now, these are the questions that I've written.
We're supposed to ask for you?
No.
Oh, you've got more questions.
I have
Well,
questions.
Oh.
these were.
Those
fixed
are all the
Those are the ones off the end,
Those are
okay.
Is there anything about the Air Force specifically that you remember?
First of all, it was not the Air Force.
Correct.
Navy.
Navy.
Is a U.S. Navy. Big
That's
difference.
different from the Air Force.
Yes.
What did you remember about it?
Well, I remember that we did a exercise off the ship in the Mediterranean, and we almost didn't make it back. That's true. We ran out of fuel. Had to make a emergency landing in where was it?
Turkey.
Turkey. And we weren't supposed to be landing in Turkey, so we had to make a special landing there. That was, I remember that. That was exciting.
How did you guys meet each other?
Where?
How did you guys meet each other?
My brother knew Nancy and met through my brother when I was at the 90-day wonder school.
What's that?
What's that?
Yeah.
That's where you became an officer in the Navy or
90 days.
in 90 days.
Newport, there were two of them. There was one in Newport, Rhode Island, and one on the West Coast someplace. And he
Well,
was
why
in,
didn't I go to West Coast? There's only one in Newport, Rhode Island. The only one.
I have no idea.
That's the only one. There wasn't one on the West Coast.
That's the only one? You think that was the
Oh
only
yeah,
one?
yeah. There's not.
Oh. I
They
thought
wouldn't.
that-
They wouldn't ship me from the West Coast all the way over there to no man's land over there.
Well, you were in the West Coast when they shipped.
Actually,
I guess you were, weren't you?
Yeah, I was.
I don't know.
I was in Hawaii when they shipped me in.
Oh, well, there must have been only one then. Anyway, his brother was a member of the ski club that I belonged to.
That's how we met.
Old Colony Ski Club in New Hampton, New Hampshire.
How old were you guys when you met?
28.
Hmm?
How old? 28.
Oh, no. Not
What-
that old.
no. When we were married?
Oh, when we were married?
Or-
27 when we were married.
27.
What year? So is the date and what year?
What's your anniversary day?
You
July,
better remember. I never do.
July
26th,
Twen-
but we have
That
total.
doesn't sound right.
Well, maybe it's wrong, I don't know.
July sometime. 22nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th,
No,
or
it's
6th.
not, it was 26th or 25th, one of those two. We have so many 25th and 26th, it's hard for us to keep track of which ones are which.
I heard you guys used to live on a farm. What was that like?
Well, it wasn't really a farm. It was kind of a,
You talk about the place in Gresham, where your dad grew up, where your grandfather grew up, that place? Well, it was 7 acres, we had a little bit of forest along the creek, but mostly it was cleared. You were there, you just don't remember.
I was there.
Yep,
no,
yes he was, he fell down the stairs.
no,
He was there, yes he was.
What year did you move out?
no.
What year did you move out, Grandma?
Yes, you were there.
He was born in 2001.
2003.
I mean 3, yeah.
Mimi!
He was there, and he fell down the stairs. Ed had him, he was supposed to be, but Devin climbed up the stairs and fell down.
Ed had him.
Ed brought him over there.
Yeah?
You guys
Yeah,
were on
he
the
was
boat
there.
in 2003, weren't you?
We were there in 2003, off and on, yeah.
Well, Kim and Alan lived
That
there for a
was-
while, but they were already living in their house
He
when
was
Devin was
little,
around.
but he did, he was there.
How old was I?
Where, you were just a baby. Big enough to climb up the stairs and fall down. Ask your grandpa. You were there.
You won't remember.
Well, why didn't his mother know?
I don't have any idea. She wasn't there probably.
No, but she doesn't even remember me ever going to your house.
Yeah, I don't
Well, I do. You ask your grandpa. Ask Ed.
3-1.
Well,
It's a
that's
memory
big,
vote.
That's a big question. I guess Ed has to sell it.
All right. Keep going.
What was, okay, I already asked you this. What was the cost of stuff back then? Like, how much did things cost?
Give some examples.
Like a
then.
house and a car and all that fun
Well,
stuff.
it depends on what you're talking about. The inflation has gone up like
I mean, like when you were
ever
kids.
since.
When you were like 9 and 10.
Well, you
How
can
about-
buy a car for $600. A new car.
Before the war.
Yeah.
What about when they got married? How much things were?
How much did things cost when you were married?
What, cars?
No, well,
Anything.
that was a comparison.
How much was a
Hey,
gallon?
Inflation has just been going on forever.
Gallon of milk.
How much was milk?
Yeah.
I don't know.
25 cents?
Maybe.
Probably.
I remember when gas was 25 cents.
That
You
would
could
Boy,
fill it up for
you really go back.
You could get a dollar's worth of gas and drive for quite a while.
If you had $1, that's a problem.
Yeah.
How much was your house when you guys built it?
The house, the first house we bought in Gresham was 16,000. We had 3 bedrooms, 2 baths, and a full basement. And so we sold it for 20, I think, or something.
No.
11 years later, so it
No,
didn't really increase much.
18 maybe.
Okay.
How many years later? How long?
11. We were there for 11.
11 years.
190th, yeah.
That's all I had to ask from you guys.
I want to know. Wait, I want to know what your first job was ever.
Who?
Grandma and Grandpa, what was your first job that you ever had?
Well, when I got out of college, I decided I went and saw the superintendent of schools, and he said, yeah, I needed a teacher. So that's the job, but they,
Teacher?
yeah,
Devin.
they
Ceramic thing.
put me in the high school, and I had a couple of social studies classes and English classes. English classes were fun, but the social studies classes I didn't like much at all because I had never really majored in that at all. And there was a lot of reading involved. I had to try to keep ahead of everybody else by a day or two. And I found out that the kids did not know how to write, and so I took it upon myself as this huge feat is to teach everybody to write. And that's what wore me out, reading all those essays, correcting all those horrible mistakes everybody made. Took too much time. Really cut into my spare time. I didn't have any spare time. It was too much trouble. So then I went to Alcoa for a couple, 3 years, and then I got a guilty conscience, so I went back to teach the 6th grade. And I liked the 6th grade. I like that a lot better than high school.
A guilty conscience about what?
What did you feel guilty about? What did you feel guilty about? You said you felt
That I was doing a menial job when I had an education, and I felt that I should
Teaching?
do. No, I was talking about the teletype machine.
Oh, okay.
And I thought that I should really work a little harder at something else. Do something better, I guess.
What about you, Grandpa?
Well, I guess I just went to work for Mosaic Tile Company and stayed with them, I guess,
Forever?
forever.
So
And
you
I
never
did.
you never became an engineer?
Never became an engineer.
There's no reason why you couldn't have.
Wasn't smart enough, I guess.
Wasn't smart enough to realize the potential. He wanted aeronautical engineering, and the year, like I said, that time was terribly competitive. He couldn't get into anything. And he was put off a year.
Yeah, I couldn't, I already had 1 or 2 years of college. I think.
Yeah.
I don't remember.
Well, anyway, they put him off, and he didn't want to wait.
I had to wait another year.
So
So,
he didn't do it.
Well, the interview was great. Thank you. I know a lot more about you guys now.
Do you?
oh, thank you.
Mom, did you have
You're
any
a great
questions?
interviewer.
Yes, you are, Devin.
You think?
He's a pretty good singer, too.
Yes, I was surprised. Huh?
Everyone thought you were a good singer. They all said.
Now, what do you have to do? Write all this stuff up?
Didn't cover that.
Now that the camera's off.
Now you mention it.
Yeah, that was a big part for 10 years. That was a pretty big part of her life.
10 years out of my life?
Hi, my name is Karen Monroe. What's your name?
Devin Ford,
Okay. Nice to meet you, Devin. What year were you born?
2003,
What date?
July 1st.
So July 1st, 2003?
Yes.
Do you know anything about the day you were born?
The doctor thought that it was another false call, so he decided, I'm gonna mose down the hall, and we're like, run, run! And there was no doctor there to deliver me.
Oh, bummer. Where were you born?
I have no earthly idea.
What city were you born in?
Austin.
Okay. Why do you have the name that you have?
I'm named after the dead guy.
Oh, well, what dead guy?
Somebody named Nicholas. My middle name is Nicholas. And he was riding in a truck in the pickup bed. And the pickup truck crashed into the back of a car. And he went flying out and hit the asphalt and died.
What's your favorite memory?
My
Your
favorite.
first favorite memory?
My first favorite memory is when when I was younger, I would always scream out, trouble, 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 before I did anything bad.
Do you remember doing that?
I don't, but my parents told me about it.
Well, what's your first memory?
When I was first learning to walk,
Uh-huh.
I stood up and I pushed myself up using an open cassette player that was my aunt's and broke the cassette player.
And you remember that?
I do.
Oh my goodness. All right. Who's more strict, your mom or your dad?
My dad.
Like, what are some things that you remember getting disciplined for?
I used to stay up late on my iPad before they grounded me from it for 4 months because I was doing that.
What makes your dad more strict than your mom?
He screams and my mom doesn't.
Oh. Okay. Let's see. What kinds of things does your family spend money on?
Bills, taxes, and more bills.
Let's see. Do you have grandparents?
Yup. I'm in their house.
What's your favorite memory of your grandparents?
Throwing knives with the ball.
What? You just did that yesterday.
Yup.
Let's see. What do you like to eat?
Paschetti.
And then, what do you do for fun? as a
Throw
kid?
knives.
Okay. What were some of your favorite toys and games?
Throwing knives.
What are some of your favorite toys and games?
My favorite toy was the throwing knife. And my gladius.
What's your favorite game that you play as a group with other people?
Quilf.
Okay. Do you get paid for doing anything around the house?
For mowing the lawn, I get paid
How much do you get paid?
$10 for doing the front and back.
Do you spend it right away or do you save it?
I don't. Both.
Okay. What do you like to buy with your money?
Candy and soda from Family Dollar.
Oh. That's true. What are some jobs that you have around the house when you were younger, including now? What are some jobs that you have?
Taking out the trash and recycling, giving the dogs baths, mowing the lawn, vacuuming and mopping, cleaning my rooms and bedrooms.
Anything to do with the chickens?
How would you know I have chickens? You just met me.
Oh, okay. Let's see. Are you a good student?
I get all A's. Wonderful person. Very popular, all my friends.
What's your favorite subject?
I say choir.
Okay. What's your least favorite subject?
Social studies.
Okay. That's your least favorite? Oh.
So annoying. The
So-
teacher always keeps us in after the bell.
Mm.
And that's the class right before our lunch period.
Mm-hmm.
So he keeps us in after the bell.
Oh.
If it were any other teacher, I would have been just fine with social studies.
Mm-hmm.
He's a great teacher. I've learned a lot. Just I hate that he keeps us in after the bell.
Who's your favorite teacher? Not even necessarily right now, but in your whole time that you've been in school, been your favorite teacher?
Probably my 7th period language arts teacher, Miss Fitz.
Why?
Because she's really, really nice.
Awesome. How does your family celebrate holidays?
What holiday?
Any of them. Thanksgiving, Christmas, New Year's, Easter.
We celebrate New
4th of July.
Year's by pouring ourselves glasses of champagne and drinking them really fast and then kissing each other.
What about Easter?
We celebrate Easter by having eggs in the yard.
Okay.
And then we go and find them.
All right. Let's see. What do you want to be when you grow up?
Air Force pilot.
What big world of news do you remember from the time you were younger?
President Obama getting elected.
Okay. Let's see.
Who never should have been elected.
Oh. Let's see. Oh, these are all about graduation. Okay.
I'm not your grandparent. Why are you doing this?
If you could have 3 wishes, what would they be?
To have infinite wishes would be my first wish.
Okay.
My second wish is to have all like tons and tons of money.
Mm-hmm.
My third wish would be to be able to fly.
Okay. Cool. If you won $1 million tomorrow, what would you do with the money?
Buy a car and a house.
I like it. What's your favorite book and why?
It's hard. I'd have to say any book by James Patterson in the young adult section.
Awesome. What's the best compliment you've ever received?
I don't know, I've gotten so few of them.
What's the best compliment you've ever received?
Kidding. I've gotten too many, I can't remember.
Alright, so you don't have any that stand out in your head?
No.
Okay.
They're all the same.
Okay.
Like, my, you look handsome today, you have a great singing voice. Wow, you're super tall.
Alright. What kinds of things bring you the most pleasure?
Friends and family.
What things frighten you?
You. No, I'm kidding. Interviewers.
Oh.
I'm
Do you
kidding.
feel differently about yourself now from how you felt when you were younger?
I used to think I was really ugly, but now I'm just okay.
Okay. Do you have any hobbies or special interests?
I like reading and playing on my Kindle.
Do you enjoy any particular sports?
Football.
Okay. Anything else?
Not really.
Okay. What do you do for fun?
Play football.
Who do you trust the most?
My mom.
Okay. Let's see. If you live another 20 to 30 years, what will you do?
Get married, have kids, be rich.
Okay. What's your most cherished family tradition?
Hugging.
I love you. I'm squished.
I know.
Okay. Let's see. Stop! You're hurting me. Stop! You're hurting me. Get up. Thank you. Let's see. What's the best advice you've ever gotten?
Trust your dreams.
Awesome. What do you see as your place or purpose in life?
Purpose in life is to be helpful and kind and yeah.
Helpful and kind?
Mm-hmm.
Awesome. Let's see. Do you believe in God?
I do.
Why?
Because he's awesome.
Okay. Let's see. Any special items in your house that you remember that are important to you?
My dog, Dandy, and Mia. Dogs.
Let's see. Who's your hero?
My grandpa.
Your Papa grandpa?
Uh-huh.
Why?
'Cause he's very religious and very successful.
Mm-hmm.
and very awesome.
Cool.
And he's really smart.
All right. Well, thank you very much for this interview, Devin. I've appreciated getting to know you better. Take my hand. Be respectful. I love you. All right. Wait, let me go push. Thank you. I love you. Okay, let me go turn it off.